Hello, good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Happy Monday. It's a new week full of new words, new scenes, new possibilities. We're all excited. Alyssa is living for this. And as you can see, we have a fun new guest here on one of my streams for the first time. We have Meredith E. Phillips with us this morning, and I'm going to let her introduce herself briefly and just talk about what she likes to write, what she's working on currently, and all that fun stuff. So
Yeah.
take it away, Meredith.
Thanks for having me. I'm Meredith. I write Regency romance, and I'm currently querying one project that's in the trenches, dying a slow death, but it's fine. And then I'm working on another project. I'm currently in a mentorship program with that one, so I'm working to finish a revision of the entire book by Friday. So no pressure or anything for me. It's fine. I'm doing good, and I'm not panicking at all.
I can't wait to see the chaotic vlog that is born from this week.
This one, oh my gosh, this vlog is just like me being exhausted. I'm so tired. I'm just like, okay, keep going. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
We'll
You have so many friends here. Good morning, Ashley, Ian, hello, Jazz, Margot, Felvy. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Alyssa is just living for this whole thing. Yes, this is the Meredith Phillips. Good morning, Nicole, Emily, Falcon, T, Jasmine. So many friends here in the chat, ready to do some fun writing. If you're coming over here from Meredith's channel and you don't know who I am, I'm Cody. I write books. I write thrillers. I'm currently writing a paranormal thriller under the guise of Project Terms and Conditions. I am currently at 18,374 words. So we are almost 2/3 of the way to the good goal of 30,000, and it's only the 11th. So
you're doing so good.
Possibilities are endless. Well, listen, I watched you. When was it when you did the thing? I think it was April, maybe. Whenever you did the 2,000 words a day for the whole.
That's when I was drafting this current book.
Yes, and that was crazy. The fact that you were just able to be like, 2,000 words a day, and you made it look so easy. I was like, oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't know. I would get up in the morning and usually could get like 1,000 words in the morning and then 1,000 words later in the day.
Yeah.
I just am like, let's get it done so we can move on to the next phase.
Yes. I strive for that. I mean, but right now my goal is just 1,000 a day, which is, I was going back to some like of my old vlogs, like when I first started posting on here, and my average for the day was like below 500. And that was like tough for me. And so to see the growth now where like 1,000 words is like the minimum, like I know I can do that. That's easy. And whatever I can get over that is just bonus. Like we love seeing growth and progress. Maybe one day I'll be like Meredith and I can write 2,000 words a day. Easy.
See, I feel like I'm progressing backwards because when I first started writing, it was just like, if you look at my word count, because I tracked the very first project I ever did, I was doing like 4,000 word days, like throughout the week. What? Yeah. But that's like max for me now because I think I know more about like the writing craft. And so as I'm writing, especially first draft writing, I'm just like, you've used the word this on the page like 20 times, and I'm just like, it's too much inner critic going on. So I feel like my word counts get lower and lower.
The harder it is to write.
Exactly. Yeah, for real.
I feel that. I had a thought, but literally as quick as it came, it left my brain. So maybe it'll come back. Hi, Meg. Welcome. Happy time zones, 4 p.m. here. Love that. So it's not too late. That's also why I wanted to start doing some morning streams, so some of my friends in other time zones can actually join some streams. Because most of the time when I'm doing it at like 6 p.m., it's like 2 a.m. for them, and I'm like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Author Nation stuff doesn't start until later in the day. Love that. Vlog editing, working from home on the side. Terms and conditions, the lawyer in me loves that. Yeah, well, I don't know if you'll like these terms and conditions, but we'll see. 2K words a day it is very impressive. 2K a day in my dreams. So everyone is so impressed by you, Meredith.
What can I say?
Happy time zones at AM there where Anna is. After I hit 3K, my brain starts to die and I have to work on other things.
Yeah.
See, my goal, my cap so far, my high score, if you will, for one day is just over 4,000 words.
Hmm.
That's like where I was like, okay, I'm done, which is going to make this coming up Friday very interesting. But we shall see how that goes. Because,
Oh yeah, I saw you're gonna do your 5K in a day or whatever. Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
yeah,
I
me and Natalie Jane Shields we sort of like did a little. We were chatting on Instagram and was just like, hey, how delusional would it be for us to try to get 5,000 words in a day? And I was like, well, that sounds very delusional, but we can try. And then I was like, do you want to just like turn it into a thing on the internet and we just do like a streamathon? And she was like,
contentify it. Yeah.
absolutely. Because like, we get to just document the challenge, and that's basically going to be what my vlog is for next week, is just me doing that 5K in a day challenge. Because I mentioned this in the vlog that's going up today, but I feel like my week in the life is so boring because I just go to work and I come home and that's it. And that's the way
I
I
don't
like
even go anywhere. I just go over there.
it.
Mine is I don't even have like cool car shots I can get. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't even have access to a car. So,
yeah,
like here's my house again. It's
yeah, but
messy.
I'm gonna be doing that 5K while I'm at work. Like I'm still gonna go to work on that day.
Can I have your job? I want your job.
Well,
Are
the
you
thing
leaving
is,
anytime
with my
soon?
job is like I'm a program administrator, and so unless someone emails me and needs me, then I get to just sit at my desk. The only, I guess, like thing that they say that you have to do is they're like, if you're at your desk, even if you're just staring out the window, we don't really care. And so I'm like, heard. So I use any downtime that I have to just write and do other authorly content creator thingies. But yeah, my stream schedule, we don't talk about it. But
It's
some
just for this
people,
month. It's
yeah, exactly.
mine.
Like Alyssa's doing daily vlogs, which is I feel like the same amount of masochist behavior, just in a
Exactly.
different format. And so this is my daily vlog, is all of the streaming that I'm doing this month. um, Hello, Angel. So glad that you are here. Trauma bond together on the 5K a day challenge. Yeah, me and Natalie will definitely be trauma bonding for sure. I never leave the house. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. But
I go to the grocery store once a week, and that's about it.
so sick of my boring life. But also, I'm living. Dream of a job like that. It's not a bad gig. It pays the bills and it lets me do the things that I want to do in the downtime that I have. So, and it's also like a very like low brain power job, because it's literally like, hey, can you compile these things and send it over? And I literally just go click a few buttons and I run a couple reports, put it in an email, and I send it. Like I don't have to like think too hard about it, which is nice.
I want to do that.
Wish I had a day job that let me write more. Claims adjuster, and it required, yeah, could not be me. I can't. I prefer to have a low brain task. But if you have not been on one of my productivity streams that I am doing for the month of November, we're going to do 2 40-minute sprints because we are locking in this morning. We're starting our Mondays off strong, long sprints, getting things done. I will be doing some work tasks and writing during these 40 minutes because apparently my job did not want to give me the day off for Veterans Day here in America, but it's fine. We're going to persevere and we're going to do the thing, and it's going to be great. But yeah, what do you say we go ahead and jump into our first sprint? We're going to crush it. And while we are doing the sprint, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask Meredith, because she is new here on the channel, if you want to ask anything about her writing process, anything about her book that she's currently working on, she's revising, go ahead and do so in the chat and we'll answer those during our yap time after this 40 minutes. But with all of that, 40 minutes are on the clock. Happy writing, and we'll see you soon. All right. That was the first sprint. How'd you do, Meredith?
I did pretty good. I am working my way through chapter 12. I am like 500 words from the end, and of course, I'm adding to it, and it's unnecessary, but that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Just one more little cute moment,
Just a little cutesy little moment. We love that.
Yeah.
I was locked in on that. I almost got 800 words during that sprint, so
Woo!
that's a slay.
Nice.
We finished chapter 15 and started chapter 16. And I've noticed, I mean, the way that I'm doing this is I'm very much living by the mantra that the first draft is just to make the story exist. I am not doing all of the minor details. I am not describing things very well. Really, I am just trying to lock in all of the scenes and have them some sort of fleshed out. And I'm making sure the things that, at least for me, the things that I've learned that I do best in a first draft is locking down the action that moves the story forward in each chapter, as well as like character motivations. Everything else is a draft 2 Cody problem, because we have a AuthorTube Discord situation where me and just a few other AuthorTubes, the name of the Discord is called Dog Water. And the reason we call it Dog Water is because in that Discord, we have made the bold and brave decision to share first draft words with each other, which is terrifying. But that's why it's called Dog Water, because we know that it's not going to be good. We know that it's a first draft, but it's just a fun way for us to kind of like be like, oh, I see how you're setting this up. You're doing this well. And I think it's fun. It's fine. Mick actually read the prologue in chapter 1, and she noticed. She said, "You're doing really, really well with like your character motivations and the action of each scene." And she mentioned that she was like, "But I don't know what any of these people look like." And I was like, "Yep, you won't know till draft 2."
That's me too. I'm like, oh, just make them up in your head. Come on.
Yes,
That's what you're gonna do anyway. I'll say he has red hair, and you're gonna be like, no, he's a blonde.
Yeah. But I do have like fun little like pictures that I have to like reference if I want to describe anything. But for the most part, I am literally not locking down action. And then I'm really just building their voices with this internal monologue. And it's so fun, like doing this dual POV, because things are happening around the house and they each notice different things, but they don't communicate them with each other until whenever things start to kind of converge, and they're like, wait, there's some weirdness going on. Because Thomas, being a 10-year-old, he's like, oh, like for example, in this chapter that I just finished up, Thomas, this is his first time having like his own playroom in the house. And it has been, for the first couple of days, just a stack of boxes because they're just trying to get everything else situated. The playroom is like last priority kind of situation. And, Thomas, being the 10-year-old he is, he's like, so when are we doing the playroom? When are we doing the playroom? Because that's very 10-year-old behavior. And they get home from the grocery store, and Thomas goes upstairs and he notices that the playroom door is like cracked open. And he's like, oh, that's not been like that, because I know that I'm not allowed to go in there because my dad thinks it's dangerous to play around large, heavy boxes, whatever, parent things. And he goes up there and the room has been completely set up. And he thinks, oh, my dad wanted to surprise me, and dang it, I ruined the surprise. And so I'm not going to say anything to him because I don't want him to know that I went in there and ruined the surprise. And so he's like, his dad's cooking dinner. He's like, okay, so if we finish dinner and he gets the kitchen cleaned up, the next thing he's going to say to me is, I have a surprise to show you. Well, that's not what happens. And Thomas is like, what the heck? Like, why is he waiting so long to tell me about the surprise? And he's like, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want him to know that I ruined it. And so it's kind of like fun to play with that. Like, things are happening to progress the story and be like, that's kind of suspicious, but they're not communicating for various reasons like that.
That's good. See, that's a great use of the miscommunication.
Yeah, it's just fun to play with that miscommunication dynamic between them.
Yeah.
And to play with like the innocence of a younger person not thinking about anything paranormal, because they don't think like that. They just think, oh, my dad's trying to surprise me. But Andrew sees it in this chapter that I'm currently writing. He's going to be like, what the hell? Like, did Thomas like just do this all by himself? Because it actually looks really good in here. Like, there's no way. But it'll be an interesting thing to play with for sure. All right, I did star the chat so I could catch up from where we last left off. And Angel, tomorrow is the big day for Angel. She is having her child tomorrow. We're very excited for you, Angel, and we're sending you all the good vibes. Yes, we did in fact do 40 minutes because we're standing on big business. Oh, started using Flocus. It's wonderful. I love it. And it's just one thing that I have been doing this go around with my writing is making every aspect of my writing as aesthetic as possible. So my timer is aesthetic. My Scrivener is aesthetic. We have a nice Discord with funny memes and pictures that's aesthetic. Clicky keyboard aesthetic. So we're really covering all the bases here. I talk about that a lot in my vlog that's coming out today. Yes, we are sending you all the good vibes. All the good vibes. Hello, Leah. Welcome. Morning, Jess. Welcome. Hi, Molly. Hi, Miley. Made you catch up on the kids' eco fantasy today because this weekend was a writing dud. I understand that. I didn't really. My issue that I've noticed is getting started. Once I get started, once I break that seal, then I'm like, oh, we're having a great time. Mm-hmm. But it's the act of getting started. Meredith, how do you tackle that whenever you're doing your writing, where it just seems like the last thing you want to do is write, but like once you start, you feel good about it?
I have a YouTube channel, and so if I don't, then I have no content.
That's so content.
I mean, honestly, the last 2 years have been so good for being motivated to write because I freaking love the projects I'm working on. I'm excited to sit down and get to it. So there've been really very few days where I'm like, ugh, I really do not want to do this. And honestly, like at this point, if I really am feeling like I don't want to do this, it's probably because I really legitimately do need a break. So, but I agree, like if you are feeling like, the hardest part is just sitting down and getting going. So you can set a timer for literally like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to focus in and do work for 10 minutes. And a lot of times that's all you need to get over that initial hump. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if you get to the end of 10 or 15 minutes and you're really struggling, like you can just not.
Yeah.
If you really need that break time, then just take it.
Yeah, because burnout is not fun.
Mm-hmm.
So if you truly mentally cannot do it, don't push it.
Yeah.
Like last night, it was like almost like 5 p.m. and I hadn't written any words yet. And I was like, I need to get this 1,000 because I just want to keep my streak. Because also having a streak where I've written every day, not writing feels like I'm just like breaking a streak of like 11 days, 10 days, whatever. And so last night, literally what I did was I told myself that was like, you're going to sit here and you're going to write until your DoorDash arrives.
Yeah.
Because me and Clark, we ordered some Mexican food last night and it was delicious. But I was like, okay, you ordered it. It's going to be here in like 35 minutes. You're going to just sit and write until that's here. And once the food gets here, you can stop. And I ended up breaking 1,000 words in that 35 minutes.
Awesome.
That's great of writing. So it ended up being great because once I got started, it was fine. I guess I just needed the motivation of DoorDash arriving at I don't know. Also, as a neurodivergent person, I work really well if I have like a deadline. Mm. And so my deadline for yesterday was when the DoorDash gets here, you're done.
Yeah.
And it was great. We got it done. Leah is sewing today and not writing. Tia edited a video. Jasmine also was editing. Ian got 500 words. Alyssa edited through about a chapter of dictation. Angel is reading, and she has everything that she needs for tomorrow. She has the bag packed and ready to go. 580 words, that's great. 525 in your 0.5 draft. Okay, we love a 0.5 draft. First draft is always going to be dog water, 100%. I'm in the midst of edits, somehow never noticed that I start multiple sentences in a row with the same word when I'm writing. Yeah, my first draft is quite literally a stream of consciousness. It's just like, I know what needs to happen in this scene, but so much of like the actual like workings of it, like the dialogue and stuff like that, I just kind of figure it out as I go. And I'm like, okay, in this situation, what would a 10-year-old think and what would a 35-year-old think? And let's just kind of make that happen. Like, I know the scenario I'm putting them in, but it's just discovering how they react to all those things in the first draft, which is really what I'm trying to figure out. And then I can make it pretty later.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Finalizing 2 chapters for your alpha reader. Very nice. Don't know what anyone looks like ever. Felt that. Hello, Laura. Falcon got 680. Saving descriptions for draft 2. Same. Inspiration for each character during the outline process. It makes it so much easier to keep physical descriptions consistent. Yeah, I have inspiration pictures as well, but I'm not implementing the specifics until later, because that's just not a first draft Cody problem. Why aren't you afraid?
Oh, I think from your creepy book description.
The playroom. Yeah. I was assuming nothing's going on. That's fun. I agree. It's so much fun. And I love playing with that. Is dichotomy the right word? I don't know. I know that word, but I don't know exactly if I'm using it correctly. Woke up got out of writing slump and got over 2,500 words written in one shot this morning.
Not for the project you're working on.
But that's still
who cares,
a great amount of words.
Yeah.
Still progress being made. I'm so excited about this project that I cannot imagine having felt any other way about my other projects. I feel the same way about this one. Like, once I really get into the groove of it, I'm having a blast, because I've never written a ghost story before. And so it's just fun getting to, I know what's going on, but it's fun to kind of just set the scene and only share just enough with the reader so they're like, that's suspicious. I need to know more.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Anna Robin, yeah, besties. So, okay. I guess I can change my little banner because we're going to yap for a second, because it's yap time. It is not springtime. So I guess, Meredith, what was it about the romance genre that made you kind of decide, I want to write stories, I guess specifically with Regency romance? Was there any specific work or piece of media that inspired you to want to write in this specific genre?
I think I'm just an old soul, and I like old stuff. And contemporary romance is fun. I started out writing that, and I certainly still read it. But I really love all of the rules, all of the societal pressures that are in place that we don't really deal with a lot of that today.
Yeah.
So I like playing in that kind of a world where you have to, how are you going to get these 2 characters alone when they're not supposed to be ever alone together? All this kind of stuff. So it's all this fun sneaking around and stuff you have to do. And then I also just I grew up watching old movies, and so a lot of them take place in old-fashioned England times, and it's just, I like that kind of formality. I really enjoy, and I feel like my writing voice lends itself to that sort of older-fashioned writing, or older-fashioned formal kind of speaking and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that part about it too. I thought we watched so many things with women in hoop skirts growing up. I thought that is what people wore to things like prom.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I was like, I can't wait to be in high school where I'll get to wear a hoop skirt dress to prom. That's going to be amazing. I was in middle school by the time I figured out people do not wear that anymore. I was so disappointed.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Maybe for your photo shoot that you do, your author photo shoot, whenever you inevitably publish one of your books, wear that hoop skirt.
Exactly. One day we're putting it on. Now, do they wear hoop skirts in the Regency era? No.
No, but in your version, you can do whatever you want.
They definitely are wearing hoop skirts. I don't care.
Right. It's your book. You can wear a hoop skirt if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I think my only I guess knowledge of the Regency era comes from the popular TV show Bridgerton. I was also I have been in the musical for Little Women.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is kind of it's a little later, but have all of the dance cards and all of that fun stuff. I think what I really enjoy about Regency romance is just the grandiose vibes of it, like the large elaborate dresses and the formal dancing and the ballrooms. Like I love that, and it just like I don't know. I just love all of the fun ways that they have, like especially with Bridgerton, like the large hair. I love the queen in Bridgerton having the craziest wigs is like my
For
favorite
real.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun. And that's like one of my I guess favorite things about it is just how I guess they're so the society is so different that whenever they like it's so much more rare to have an alone time with a man that's not your husband.
Mhm.
And like these days, you know, we're all everybody's friends with everybody. We hang out all the time. It's no big deal. But back then, it was just such a taboo thing to be alone with someone of the opposite sex. I love that. Like
I love that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he held my hand.
Like, oh my God, you saw my ankle.
Oh no.
Scandalous.
Yeah, I love all that.
It's so fun because it's interesting to think like that was reality. Like that was the world that they lived in during that time, and it's just so interesting to see how we have evolved over time.
Yeah,
it's so fun. And we talked about it a little bit before like the stream, but you said that this is the second book that you've really taken as far as you've gone as far as revision wise. What was it about, like what is it I guess about each of those stories that made you think I could revise this and do more with it as opposed to the other ones that you just kind of first drafted, did a light revision, and then just kind of tucked away? What was it about those two stories and this one that you're currently working on that made it stand out from the rest of it?
This is where I found my writing voice. All the previous work I was doing was like YA fantasy or contemporary romance or rom-coms. If you were on my channel, like when I first started it, I was doing project model rom-com, which was fun, but it never really clicked. It never really felt like me somehow. And I'm telling, when I wrote chapter 1 of that first Regency romance in NaNoWriMo 2022, it felt so good. It felt so right. And I just have loved it. It's been amazing the whole time. And I've never wanted to go back to prior projects or do anything else.
Yeah. So. We can answer this question. Have you, because we kind of chatted a little bit about this prior to the chat as well. But have you ever been pressured to write outside of your comfort genres? And if you gave in, did you learn something surprising about your writing by tackling something new? I've never felt pressured to write outside of my comfort genre. I think my issue is I have a few comfort genres that I kind of want to write in all of them. So I kind of have like the opposite problem where I feel pressured to just stick to one genre as an author. But that's the beauty for me of being self-published, which means I can publish whatever I want. I don't have to stick to one genre. If I want to write a few thriller books and then jump into a fantasy series and then, maybe go back to doing like a horror novel, I can do that. And I don't want to feel pressured, and I don't want to put myself into a box, I guess, because I just want to write stories that I want to read. And I like to read in all kinds of genres. Humans are so multi-layered that I feel like we can have different passions, different interests, and they can all be under the same name. Mm-hmm. Like Cody, the writer, doesn't just write thrillers. He writes whatever he would want to read.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah. There's pressure now, really, because I'm aiming for trad pub, and historical romance, not the biggest seller. It's definitely like on a downward trend in terms of popularity and in terms of like new authors getting book deals in that subgenre. And so there is pressure to switch to contemporary romance, switch to something that's going to like get people's attention. Right. And, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to. I tried that already and it was fun, but it just wasn't for me. So I'm stubborn. I'm sticking with this, at least for the moment, never say never, but.
And that's great. I mean, because you're kind of doing the same thing. You're writing books that you would want to read. And
exactly.
You love some Regency romance, so that's what you're going to write. Mm-hmm. I love that. And another question for you. As a romance author, have you ever felt embarrassed saying that you write romance? I feel like for me, I grappled with this a lot in my younger years.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it gets such a bad rap, and people think they know what it entails when they've never read a romance book. They're like, I've seen the Fabio covers at the grocery store, so I know what everything is in that. And it's just, it isn't. It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there can sometimes be times where it's like, I write romance, but let me explain what it is to you because I'm pretty sure you don't know, right?
Yeah. You just think
So
it's two people that are
yeah,
not together in the beginning, they end up in the end. And
yeah, yeah, and
but
it's
there's so much that happens in between, so much
it's
internal conflict and
it is. There's a lot of
error.
character. You know, a lot of these romance books are centered on characters, and you have to have really strong character development throughout the books, or it's going to fall real flat.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've gotten to the point now, especially with my channel here, where, you know, that's what I'm writing, and it's right there for everyone to see. So I've
Yeah.
kind of gotten over that for the most part. But I still do have that, like, let me explain to you all the reasons this is valid. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's this whole conversation right now about 'cause I don't remember what it was. There were some sort of awards that happened recently, but they did not include horror as a viable genre for those awards. I'm not sure which one it is specifically, so I'm not gonna try to make something up and tell a lie. But just I hate that there are, people out there that find specific genres more valid than other ones because I think they're all valid.
Yeah.
Because all genres, no matter what genre you're writing in, there are pieces of the human experience in all of them. And I feel like that's what art is a reflection of human experience, whether it be painting, sculpting, writing, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't like that whole argument of some are more valid than others based on what's happening in traditional publishing or what's popular right now. All forms of art are valid, all genres are valid, and that's the tea. That's all I got to say about that. But also, this sounds like a very fun idea. Someone that's living in today's world that has to learn how to conform to the Regency romance era. Meredith, I think you could do it.
They've done that. They've done that movie. Oh my gosh, it's so old. It has Meg Ryan and that other guy in it.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be
where
similar
she goes
to
back in time to, like, I don't remember what time period it is. Old time, England times.
And it basically is like the reverse version of Enchanted because they're living in this fairy tale Regency world and they come to
there's
our
another
world.
movie where he comes to her. Wait, they're both like early 2000s movies.
Yeah.
I don't remember what either one is called, and I can't remember any. Yeah. Oh, Ashley got it there. Kate and Leopold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman. That's it.
Love.
I saw that so long ago. Yeah.
There was one more question for you in here. Oh, we were actually talking about this prior to the stream. Do you need to do a lot of research? I wonder how much do the readers care about historical accuracy in the romance? Because I have some immortal OCs, and it's getting to be a lot of work.
It's definitely a lot of work. I spent months researching and just reading about the era before I started even outlining that first book. It depends on the reader. Some readers do not care. Do you have a Regency romance and they're wearing hoop skirts? The readers do not care. They will read it and they just are there for the fun story, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have other readers who are like, excuse me, they didn't have doorknobs back in the Regency era. They had latches on the door. Oh my gosh, they said doorknob. And so you've got the complete range of people. And so I think you need to get comfortable with the fact that even if you do months and years of research, you're going to get something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I find stuff all the time where I'm like, oh, wait, what? Oh my gosh. I definitely did this wrong, or I have this phrase that wasn't really used until the 1920s. There's all that kind of stuff. So at a certain point, you just have to kind of let it go.
Yeah.
And I do think you need to get some things correct. If you're talking about they were fighting Napoleon in 1825. No, they were not, because he was dead by then. So some things you probably need to have accurate, but some of those smaller details, I like to try to make things as accurate as I can, but I know there's absolutely things that I've gotten wrong at some point, or
because we just weren't alive during that time.
Yeah.
Okay. There's only so much reading that you can do and research that you can do. like for me, similarly, like with the my first book that I wrote on here on the channel, I had to do a lot of research, and I've probably been red flagged by a lot of FBI agents because I had to do some research on a certain combinations of like over the counter drugs and prescription drugs that could lead to a fatality in a person, and because I needed to know those things. And the like towards the end, one of my critique partners, there's some things that happen as far as like with police and certain things being covered up, and one of them was like, is this accurate? And I was like, well, yes, but also some of it I kind of like to suspend the belief on it, because at the end of the day it's just kind of left to be there as like a fun twist. I don't It's not one of those things that needs to be, I guess, fully fleshed out and explained. It's just some events happened that led to this end result, and without really getting into the nitty gritty of it. And I feel like that should be the case. Like, it's fiction. We're writing fiction.
Mhm.
Like, not everything is going to be 100% accurate. If it was, then that would be an encyclopedia.
Exactly.
And no one wants to read an encyclopedia. Well, maybe you do. Maybe someone in the chat enjoys sitting with a good old encyclopedia, but I personally do not.
No.
But yeah, exactly. If Criminal Minds can do it, so can I. And I 100% agree with that. Exactly. Part of the enjoyment is suspending disbelief.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You don't have to have every single answer. You don't have to know all the background facts. As long as you are following the story, you're enjoying the going on the journey with the characters. At the end of the day, it's a win in my book. You know what I'm saying? But like Meredith said, some of it does need to be accurate.
Yeah.
Like if you're using real life things like Napoleon, who has a very concrete lifetime in his
Yeah.
like, you can't change that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everything else, whatever your characters are doing, they're your characters. It's your world. You do what you want.
Yeah. And there's tons of readers out there. So you're going to find the readers who are fine with whatever level of accuracy you have in your book.
Agreed. But yeah, that was a great time. I don't think we had any other questions in the chat, but so we can go ahead and start our second sprint, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right. This will be our final sprint of today. We're going to do 40 more minutes. Lock in, everyone, and we will see you in 40. Happy writing. All right. How did you do?
I did pretty good. I finished, what did I do? I finished chapter 13 and I'm almost done with chapter 14.
Love that.
Obviously, need to extend the flirting at the end of the chapter.
It do be like that.
I don't need to, but I'm going to.
I don't know what possessed me, but I wrote 1,000 words during that 40 minutes.
Whoa, okay.
We have officially broken 20,000 in the draft, which is a slay.
Yay! That's awesome.
Literally written 1,728 words just in this string, which is wild. Like, I don't know what it is, but I do know what it is. It rained here every freaking day last week. And today is our first full day of sunshine. You can see it like beaming against my face. I have the blinds open just so I can have all of the sunlight because I feel like I've needed it. And maybe that has just reinvigorated the mindset to just get some writing done. But yeah, this was very productive. I'm very excited to have officially broken 20,000 words in the story.
That's great.
And but the funny thing is we're on chapter 17, which is I guess technically chapter 18, because some of these chapters do indeed have like less than 1,000 words in them. But that's okay because it's the first draft. I'm trying to get the scenes on the page and then we'll fluff them up and make them pretty later. And so, yeah, great things happening. Let's see what happened in the chat. Had a very productive session, finalized my 2 chapters, finished packing for a trip to the desert, loaded the dishwasher, and made coffee. Love that. Very productive.
What desert are you going to?
I want to know more about this desert trip. And okay, so fun fact, anytime I see that word, I can't help but think of the fun fact that I learned, I think it was literally in like the 5th grade, that helped me distinguish desert and dessert. Because desert has 1 S for sand, and then dessert has 2 S's for strawberry
shortcake. Yes. I learned the same one.
That's how my brain distinguishes those 2 words. I'm like, wait, is it 1 S or 2? And I'm like, is it sand or is it strawberry shortcake?
Yep. I still use that to spell it because I am a 5th grader. So.
Yeah. Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
No.
I am not. Actually, I've never seen a show that has made me feel more incompetent than Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader, because I realized very quickly that I am not, but it's fine. Ian got 600 words that time. Falcon 1407, that's a slay. Thank you so much. 539. Miley got 713. Michelle got 811. Seems like everyone is making fantastic progress this morning, which I love. We're kicking off our weeks strong. Learned it as sweet snack. That was another option. But I literally just learned it as sand and strawberry shortcake. That's how I learned how to differentiate the 2. Stressed backwards because dessert solves all of your problems.
That's a good way to.
I
like that.
Do agree. I have heard that before. But yeah. Yes. So this was so productive. I did not expect to write as much as I did during this, and it's only noon where I am. So, what time zone are you in, Meredith?
I'm Central. Yeah.
Okay. So we're on the same time zone. But yeah, this was great. This was so much fun. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here really quick. Meredith, if you're not already subscribed to her, what are you doing? You need to, as soon as the stream is over, go and subscribe to Meredith if you're not already, especially if you are interested in all things romance, Regency romance. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this chaotic vlog. Everyone put let me think. Put YOLO in the chat to support Meredith in finishing revisions this week by Friday. That is what we're going to say. And I'm going to kick it off. Maybe if I can connect. I have my keyboard can like switch between Bluetooth, which is how it's connected to my laptop. And then this switch to the left makes it go to the little dongle thing. See, look at all these YOLOs you're getting. All the YOLOs is sending you all the good vibes
Yeah.
for finishing your revisions by Monday. And I'm so excited to see the vlog. Everyone on Friday, make sure that you're tuned in to that vlog because I'm sure it's going to be chaotic and we're going to get to see in real time Meredith spiral towards the end of this draft.
You can already see that in the one from this past Friday.
Oh, that one was so fun. It was so chaotic and fun. I loved it. And also, if you want, you can see how my last week of writing went in my vlog that is going up at 12:30 in less than 30 minutes. So it'll be there ready for you guys to watch. Thank you all so much for being here. And yeah, have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you get all the words. The next time I will be live, I'm going live on Brielle's channel on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you guys want to hang out there, I will be live. I think I'm going live with Amina and Andy and Brielle. I'm going to be a guest on that stream with them. And then Friday, I have my 5K Friday streamathon. So I'm going to be streaming 3 times. One of those, the 10 a.m. will be on my channel. The 2 p.m. will be over on Natalie's channel. And then the 6 p.m. will be back on my channel with Brielle, Natalie, and Ari's pages. So we got a lot of fun streaming things happening. Alyssa in the books is still doing her 6 a.m. streams. So the possibilities are endless for the rest of the month. Okay. But yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. And I will see you on the next stream.